Yo, guys, what up? Welcome to B2GM 2021. Oh my god, we made it. We're in 2021. It's been a little bit since we made our last series, but it's time. It seems like it's time for another one. And I hope you guys, if you guys got to see the last one, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen the last one, I hope you enjoyed this one. And you know, you get to be in the group of people that go, damn, I'm getting better at this game because this series is telling me shit I didn't even know existed in StarCraft 2. So there's a few things I think you should definitely be doing before you really get into the game. It's basically gonna, if you do what I'm gonna tell you to do right here in this intro, it's basically like playing StarCraft 2 without having a disadvantage. Like you're giving yourself all the advantages that you can to like get into the game. That'll help you as much as possible. So the first thing that I really think you need to do is I need you to go to your control panel in your computer. We're just going to modify your mouse and keyboard very slightly, really fast, simple changes, nothing too crazy. On your mouse, all you're going to do is you're going to go to your pointer options and make sure you don't have enhanced pointer precision on. Turn that thing off. It's really bad. Turn it off. It makes your mouse glide like it's on ice on your monitor. It like speeds up how fast it accelerates, and it's annoying. So definitely don't have that on. And then in your keyboard, and that's all you do for your mouse, and that's it. And then on your keyboard, all you want to do for your keyboard is make sure your repeat delay is on as short as possible and not on anything else. Most keyboards by default start about here, on like 3/4 of the way to as short as possible. Make sure it's as fast as possible, because what this does is it makes it to where when you hold a key down on the keyboard and you just hold it in, the keyboard registers faster that you're holding the key in, and it wants to like activate the key repeatedly. And what this does is it makes your macro speed up like crazy. Like for instance, if I was going to play Zerg, okay, we'll use Zerg as an example, and I was going to make 50 Zerglings out of my larva. To make 50 lings out of my larva, I would, if I'm on this delay right here really long, I would press Z for Zergling, and then about 4 seconds later, it would be like, Zerglings, and I would be sitting there for 4 seconds waiting for it to start repeating. It would be super annoying. This one's about 3 seconds, like 2 seconds, and this one's like less than a second. Jesus, that came out of nowhere. Sorry. But yeah, repeat delay, super good. Very, very, very nice to have it on as short as possible. Definitely turn that on as short as possible. It'll help you a lot. Secondly, inside the game now. So now we're done messing with your computer. That's all we wanted to do outside of StarCraft. Now, inside the game, definitely do this. Do whatever you want with your graphics. That's your choice. But go down to mouse and keyboard. Make sure you click enable mouse sensitivity, so that you have no weird situation where if let's say you share a computer with somebody else and you guys keep like messing with the sensitivity on the mouse on the desktop. At least if you use this, it'll prioritize StarCraft's mouse sensitivity over your desktop. But still enable it and find whatever makes you feel comfortable. Mine's 50%. I would say make sure you disable Windows key if you're on Windows, so that way you can't actually hit it and get out of the game, because a lot of people tend to do that. Definitely make sure that's checked. And then leave these things unchecked. It's fine. I would say uncheck mouse wheel zoom if you have it checked. That way you can't accidentally roll your mouse wheel and have the screen like fly to the ground and you're like, oh my god, why is my camera messing up in the middle of a fight right now? Definitely turn that off. And then this is a huge one. This is one of the biggest things you need to do in the game. Turn scrolling everything up to 50%. Everything needs to be 50%. Because if you don't have these on 50%, especially mouse scroll speed, your screen will go super slow across the map of StarCraft that you're playing on, and it's horribly bad for, again, macroing fast. So it's by default it starts at 20%. Turn it up to like 50%. It'll feel kind of fast at first, but it's so much cleaner at making the game feel more playable at a faster pace. It's so good to get used to it like that. So definitely turn it up to like 50%. I would highly recommend that. Now in gameplay, I would say for interface, make sure you have display build grid on. 100% make sure you have worker status on. This is going to be something we're going to use all the time to monitor how many workers we have on our economy, so that it basically gives you an outliner that says you have currently 18 SCVs out of 16. 2 of those are not efficient. So it's easy to like fix your economy wherever you're having problems. It makes it really, really nice and smooth. make sure you have show current indicator, order indicator highlighted or checked, because this is going to show you where you've told your commands to happen. So if like you shift a move 4 times, it's going to show you where those lines are that your units are attacking. So if you ever mess something up, you can redo it, and it's just more obvious. Highly recommend you have enable enemy unit selection on because it allows you to check your opponent's upgrades, check their buildings, check how much energy a unit has for like a spellcaster. These are good things that will help you a lot at being able to identify information in the game. It's something you're probably also not going to use until Diamond League, but still definitely worthwhile once you get there. And then the other ones are kind of up to you. I kind of like having them on. It's fine. The reason about experience points, why I have that on, is because if you ever kill something in Fog of War, you can see the experience go like plus 45 or something like that. 45 experience, and it means, oh, I actually killed it. It didn't actually get away. It's not alive still. It's dead. So I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's fine. And then another really important one up here. This is super important. These 2 things are also very, very, very important. Show unit life bars. Make sure this is on always. This makes it really good for scouting. We'll talk a lot about this once we get to scouting in the series. This is super good. This is like... There's tricks that this does for you to make scouting even more efficient. And then secondly, for control groups, make sure this is on unclickable, because if this is not on unclickable, you can accidentally click on the area where your control groups are in the game, and it can rebind groups without you realizing it. So it's super annoying. I've not met a single person ever that plays this game that likes that feature. Everybody that I've talked to hates it, myself included. So just make sure it's on unclickable so it doesn't fuck up your binding of your own control groups that you set without you realizing that they change. And that's inside the game. That's really it. The only other thing I would say maybe you should check would be come down to language and region, and you can make sure your preferred server's on best match. It's not a big deal, though. I'm sure the game's going to probably give it to you by default most of the time. And then on observer and replay, make sure... this is on default. Again, not a huge deal, but it helps you be able to... It just makes it easy to see the game without having like a caster interface. It's like how a player would see it. So it makes the game easy to see stats of units and things like that. And that's really it for setting up your game by default in the first place. We'll come back later on around Diamond League or like maybe like Gold League. Once you get more into the series, we'll come back and talk more about hotkeys and things like that, about how to customize that a little bit more efficiently. But for now, let's not worry about that. And then finally, one final thing, okay? There's one final thing I want to talk about that's going to help you guys a lot about how to get better at StarCraft 2, okay? So a lot of people, when I coach them, they all reference a lot of things that happen. Like they know, for instance, if they're copying like a Protoss build, they're like, oh, I know that you make stalkers, so I make stalkers. I know that you make probes, so I make probes. Like they understand what is happening, but they don't understand how fast it's happening. So one thing that is super, super, super cool about how to play this game, I'm going to give you one quick live example right now about what you can do to make this really good for yourself. If you use a Protoss game for just, again, we're just using Protoss as an example, okay? I don't love Protoss the most. I'm just going to use it as a very quick example. One thing that I really highly recommend you do, okay, as a player to get as much improvement out of this game as possible is to open up a replay of what, like anyone you want out of the series. I'm going to have replay packs on my Discord, so you can go there and download it. It's in the B2GM 2021 replay pack folder. Super easy, super organized. And right now we just picked Bronze 1 Protoss versus Protoss Game 6. So in my YouTube video in Bronze 1 Protoss, this is the 6th game I played, and it was a PvP. So it matches to the YouTube video as well. So it's super convenient. So if you ever watch a game and you're like, I like that one, it's easy to find. And then now when you're in the game, all you got to do is do this. Open up like a notepad or a spreadsheet or something. We'll just use notepad because it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, super easy. And this is all you do. You write down timers like this. We'll take this to 10 minutes for this game. Okay. 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Jesus. Okay, 10 minutes. And now what we're going to do with this as well is we're going to write down worker supply and total supply. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to worry about anything else. We're not worrying about how we micro. We're not worrying about how we take fights. We're not worrying about any of this other garbage that is outside of what macro is, okay? So the first number represents worker supply. The second number represents total supply. Not army supply, but total supply. So it mixes both. And we go like this. Speed the game up, and you only have to do this once for my replay, by the way, and you can do it as many times as you want for your own replays. But let's say you're copying my build, and you go like this. Okay, at 1 minute, Vibe is the red Protoss. Vibe had 17 probes, and total supply was at 18. And then at 2 minutes, Vibe had, etc., etc., etc. You do this all the way until 10 minutes, or until you, whatever timer makes you feel comfortable. So at 2 minutes, Vibe has 21 harvesters and 22 supply. And what this does for you, if you take this all the way to the end here, let's just hypothetically put numbers in, okay? Again, this is an example. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just makes sense. So we'll say this is going to be 27. Let's say this is going to be 33. Let's say this is 38. Let's say this is 45. This is 52. This is now 61. This is now 72. And this is now 85, okay? And let's say your total supply ended up being things like this was now 35, this was now 48, this was 52, this was 63, this was 85, this was right here 112. Oops, I just deleted that on accident. 72 or whatever it was. This is now 140, and now the final one is now 182 or something. So these numbers right here, what these values mean is, let's just say hypothetically, as a player, you play your own game and you're like, okay, Vibe's at this at 1 minute, Vibe's at this at 2 minutes. But for some reason, when Vibe's at these numbers at 3 minutes, I only have 23 workers and I only have 28 supply. So Vibe's ahead of me by 4 workers and 7 supply. What happened? What did I do? And you can go back and you can watch that exact moment in the game between 2 minutes and 3 minutes and go, where the hell did I go wrong here? Why did I fall apart? It magnifies where in the game you're having problems. So it makes replay analysis way more realistic, instead of going, well, people just say watch replays, so I'm going to watch replays and I have no idea what I'm looking for, but I guess if I watch replay, I might get better. It actually tells you what the hell you're doing in the replay, that where you're having problems. Like, what is happening in that moment of time that you're not doing something? And what if between this moment of time, you're like, oh, I see what happened. A Reaper literally ran in my base, killed 1 probe and ran away. And I watched it happen for 47 seconds. And I literally built 0 probes, or I built like only a couple probes in that time instead of a lot. And I also, I didn't build any units out of my gateway for like a full minute. So I got distracted by a Reaper. So in the future, don't get distracted by a Reaper. We talk a lot about this. We're going to talk so much about this throughout the series. But this is a good way to get better at the game literally all the time. It never ends. Because what this does is, again, the way to finally recap this, and we'll end the point here. A lot of players in StarCraft 2 think that just because somebody uses a certain type of unit, and if they all, like if you watch a pro gamer play a game and you go, that guy used stalkers in his build with Blink. Well, guess what? I also made Blink stalkers. I'm doing the exact same build he did. Why do I lose and why does he win? What if he hits whatever you're trying to copy? What if he does it at 6 minutes, and then in your own replay, you do it at 10 minutes? And you don't even realize that's what you do. But you're like, well, we're doing the same build, but if there's a 4-minute discrepancy there between him doing it at 6 and you do it at 10, it is not the same build. So this is going to definitely help you understand what time means inside the game. And you're going to actually start paying attention. Like, it'll give you a reference of what the clock actually means. I'm telling you right now, most players that play this game that are below Diamond League, or even some players in Diamond, they have no reference of the clock. They don't pay attention to it ever. So if you are ever struggling and you're hitting a brick wall, use this. Like, go look at the video which you're using to try to improve with. Use this, and suddenly you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. Why am I far behind? Magnify your problem. Where do you fall off? Oh, right there. Okay, what's happening at that moment? Fix it and go, okay, it makes more sense. And you slowly build yourself up to be able to fully emulate a real build. And if you do that, then I like to call this the notepad trick. It helps a ton. And that is going to be a tool I think you should use forever for how to replay analyze yourself to see if it's good or bad. But anyways, that's kind of the last piece I wanted to say. So I feel like if you do all those things we just said, I feel like you're ready to, to jump into it, start wherever you want. The last thing I'll say about what I think makes sense for this game for people to, because I think this is one more common misconception people had from my last series, is there's sometimes people that let's say you don't play the game very efficiently and you just go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start in Masters League, even though I feel like I might be a silver player. I'm just going to watch the Masters videos because it's a waste of time to watch bronze and silver and gold and whatever. It's way too low for me. I don't want to watch that. Well, here's the thing. Everything that I do in bronze is relevant to what I'm going to be doing in GM. Everything I do in silver is relevant to what I'm going to be doing in GM. The whole point is imagine like you're building up a person from their feet. Like bronze is like you're building your foundation. And then silver is like you're taking your foundation and you're building a little bit more on top of it. And then the gold league is like you're taking what you've already built and you're building a little bit more again on top of it. And you're doing this every time you get promoted. So we're taking everything we learn in bronze and we're making it better and better and better and better as we go. And we're just building ourselves up as a player as we progress through the leagues. So if you're someone who, for instance, is like watching this and you're a diamond player, it might be in your best interest to go back and look at bronze just to make sure you don't have bad habits. You don't have to watch the entire bronze video, but maybe watch like 1 or 2 games out of bronze just to see if your gameplay at the core foundation of it is efficient or not. Because if it's not, I guarantee you could learn something about that. And now, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this. I'll see you guys in whatever you pick, or all of them if you pick all of them. But good luck. I am doing another series for all bronze, or sorry, all Protoss, Zerg, and Terran videos. So doing all 3 races again. And I'll see you guys in whatever one you pick. And thanks for watching. And good luck. Peace, guys. See ya.